Cool. Welcome to the week one summary of the first week of SeptembRSE. Kind of like, wow, we have managed to make it to the end of the first week. And as you see in this first slide, we've hit the quarter mile marker. We're a quarter of the way through the conference now. And, I think most in the committee are like, crumbs, it's just quarter of the way through. We have it's a marathon, not a sprint. But it has gone extremely well, way better than I think any of us, when we were planning it, hoped it would go. We've been so impressed with the engagement with everybody, the positive comments that have been fed through to us, the quality of the talks, the presentations, the workshops, everything has just been, far excelled what we planned. And yeah, it's been really excellent. I have to say, I've been really enjoying it, although I think we're a little bit tired. Every time I try and look at how many tickets have been sent out, the number keeps going up because people are buying tickets all the way through the conference. So it's definitely far more than 310 tickets now. Indeed, there was just one about an hour ago that I processed. And so we're looking essentially at a conference size that's probably slightly bigger than the ones we're running when they're in person, which is, again, just excellent. Thank you to the community for engaging with this. So we've now completed 9 of the sessions of the week. This is the 10th session, and we generally have about 10 sessions a week. So as I said, we're about a quarter of the way through, and there has been so much footage that's been uploaded to YouTube. It's amazing videos. Really do encourage you to check them out, but really to kind of channel the spirit of one of the first talks on the first day. I think we're kind of doing okay. We're doing fine. All of those worries that we had as we were planning the conference and running it, we've deleted those from our mind, and we're just thinking, yep, we're okay. It's all working. So as I said, we have uploaded tons of sessions to YouTube. We're trying to do them as quickly as we can, and they're getting some good views already, and really excellent videos, a really nice resource, actually, I think, for the research software engineering community. You can find them by going to the Society's YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel. And we put them into a special playlist called SeptembRSE, and there's a direct link here, which you can get we've uploaded these slides. You can get the link from there as well. Do encourage you to check out the videos. One of the real benefits of running this as an online conference is that we've been able to time shift effectively a lot of the sessions by using these YouTube videos. And I know we've had feedback from some people who wouldn't normally go to conferences because they're unable to attend in person or can't make 2 or 3 days free to travel, who've been really thankful that we've been able to do this. And so it's something which I think, engage with, and I hope that we'll be able to continue doing this in future conferences as well. And some fantastic videos there. Now, I said I'd put together a highlights reel of the things which, highlights videos you should watch, talks you should go back to. And to be honest, when I was putting this together, I was almost putting together every single presentation, every single event, because I wanted to highlight all of them, which almost goes against the whole spirit of what a highlights is. And that's because the quality was so high. Basically, the reason I chaired this conference is because this is my last month of my fellowship, and that means that I really get to do whatever I want before I have to do my real work sort of next month. And so I basically booked, because I can't go anywhere, I want to listen to a month's worth of amazing RSE content. So I've been fortunate enough to sit through every single one of the sessions and have the time to do that. And they've been amazing, really fantastic talks, fantastic workshops, fantastic panels. I've really enjoyed myself listening to everything. So to put together this highlights reel has been extremely difficult. And it's just my personal opinion. If you're not on the highlights reel, your stuff was still amazing as well. But, we started strongly, I have to say, on Monday. Feels like a month ago, but it was just Monday. And Vanessa Sogget's talk, I thought, was brilliant. Amazing inclusion of our theme, of all of the sort of the characters. And we delved deep into the mind of Mario. We learned a lot, I think. And it's a talk which I think resonates not just with RSEs, but I think also with researchers and indeed anybody who is kind of struggling with what they're thinking about. And I thought that the points made, particularly that we tend to have doubts ourselves, but when someone else expresses those doubts, we say, hey, everything's fine, cheer yourself up, and you're okay, don't worry about it. We should do that to ourselves a bit more. So we're okay, everything is fine. And I have now been traumatized by the Quaker Oats video, a Quaker Oats sort of person. Thank you for highlighting that. That was not something I wanted to know, but now that I know that, I cannot forget it. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please watch the talk. The link is there and it's on YouTube. Another highlight, I really enjoyed Paul Richmond's and team's workshop, which was on earlier this week. This was Flame GPU2 Complex System Simulation. And what was really good about this workshop, in my opinion, was it wasn't just teaching you how to do something with the particular software, but there was really a philosophy that was built into it of how do you build good software? How do you build on good software and design it in a way it can be extended and developed better? And we saw really how the award of the fellowship to Paul enabled Flame GPU to be properly re-architected. And again, I think that's a real value of having proper RSEs in the RSE fellowships. It's a fantastic talk that goes at the beginning of this workshop. Again, I saw lots of positive comments from it. So again, I encourage you to check this out. And while I'm talking about workshops, I do apologize to Jan, because obviously I've had to put this together kind of like from last night, this morning. I was not able to include the amazing workshop that was going on today. So I've had that on the background all day. That was a long workshop, and I'm very impressed actually with how well Jan and the team did that. Again, what it was covering was very much about software engineering, different software design patterns, and I think hours of video has been recorded there, which will probably take a while to process and upload. But once we do, again, it'll be a fantastic resource, I think, for the community to learn about design patterns and to think better about how to design and use your software. Now, another highlight, this something we were planning for a while, and we knew this, it was a great opportunity both for the EPSRC to present this, but also for us to demonstrate as a community that we can host these kind of things for EPSRC. And that was the Software for Communities call, Q&A. I thought Sarah and Michael were solid troopers, to be honest, getting through these questions. I mean, this was probably the most intense Slido question and answer session that I've ever watched. They went through 45 minutes of wonderfully, clearly answering question after question after question. Without a break, without a sip of water that I saw. And Slido question answer sessions, they can turn into almost like it's a battle of endurance between the people asking the questions and the people answering. And normally the people answering the questions lose their energy before the end and there's more questions to answer. In this case, Sarah and Michael should be basically respected because they answered every single question and there were no more questions that the entire community could ask. I know because we put the video out, this is now being viewed quite a lot, and I suspect this will probably be the most watched video of anything we do in SeptembRSE. Another highlight, this was one of the presentation talk sessions, and this was the Clown Town Look at Software Engineering on the Other Side of the Chasm talk by Graham. I really liked this talk. I really liked it because it highlighted, software as a lemon market. I thought that was a very key phrase that really helped me think about actually how we market, how we develop software. And I thought it was a very mature talk that actually presented the realities of the different ways of approaching software in the academic side and also on the industrial side. The fact that they're going for evidence-based, I think, was very interesting. And I think this whole idea of actually academic software engineering is not that much different to industrial software engineering. That is something which I think has been really coming out of this conference, which brings us through to my other highlight. This was the first of our discussion sessions. So discussions are a brand new thing to our RSE conferences. The discussions are designed to basically enable a group of people to have a nice talk about something. It's like a fireside talk or a chat around a campfire where they can talk to each other without interruption. And we're kind of there just watching them, listening to what they say. Yes, it means that you can't interact with them. So we weren't allowing questions. We try not to distract them by having them look at the chat or anything. So that's why we try to make you have your sort of side discussion in the Slack channel, in the SeptembRSE channel on the RSE Slack. But it meant that because they weren't interrupted and they weren't worrying about what was happening outside of their little discussion, they really bonded together. And I felt a sense of, they really gelled and I felt it really flowed and they were being very honest with what they were talking about. And we really saw how, again, the worlds of academic and industrial research software engineering, those worlds are blending together, and some of the tools, techniques, which one may use and the other may not use, they're beginning to become more important. Now, Sarah King from EPSRC was attending this session. She's been to many of the sessions, enjoying lots of them, and actually made a point of emailing me and saying that this conversation that occurred, it was like wonderfully nuanced, much greater maturity and depth than she's seen in any other academic sort of discussion about software engineering and software practices. And really congratulations. And it's so nice that we have these very mature discussions going on within our community. And of course, this brings me on to what our next discussion will be, which will be on Monday. I think this is the one that might be the most contentious. That's going to be the Is Python the one and only solution kind of workshop. Is it better to learn another language if you should do so? And we've got a nice panel of people together who are going to be discussing this. And those participants, I think, have very different views. And I hope it will be cordial and they will get on with each other, because we don't want to bust up. But I do think that it's going to be a very interesting discussion to listen to. So do look out for that on Monday. And then the other highlight really for me this week was, all of the presentations, all of the events were amazing, but it was everything that was going on outside on the side of this. So there was so much networking going on. There was so much sort of action going on Twitter and going on within the conference center. And that was really amazing. It was so nice to see people really engaging with the conference center that we spent a long time building. So we had lots of people turning up to the venue to be able to listen to the talks, but equally you got that thing afterwards where people would go up to the speakers after the talk and have chats. And so you'd see these little congregations of people sort of having discussions, as you can see in my little picture here. And those discussions just basically covered lots of different subjects. And I know that people were meeting people that they never met in years. They were having like lots of impromptu chats, lots of impromptu networking. And while, of course, this is not, 100% of the in-person conference experience, in my opinion, this really felt like 80% of the in-person conference experience. And, for me, it was so nice to have that running around and chatting with people randomly thing that I think, I've missed. I guess a lot of people have missed from not being able to go to conferences for many years. As well as that, I saw some groups having their group meetings in the conference venue. So we have here Chris Hedsel's group from the Cambridge group. They were having their meeting. I've seen other groups do this as well. Please do feel free to use this conference venue in any way you want. The nice thing with the venue is that it's going to be online permanently, so that it doesn't get shut down. And at the end of the conference, we will open it up so anybody can attend it if they want to use it. But do make the most of it over the next 3 weeks when we've got 300 people with tickets. Have a chat with people, see where the networking sessions are, come and sit in the conference venue when you listen to a talk or a session, and then at the end, stand up and go and talk to people. That's really what it's there for. And then, of course, the other thing I really liked seeing, not just people engaging with the conference center sort of, within Gather, but also everything that was going on Twitter. So there's definitely a cats of SeptembRSE that was sort of appearing as various cats are being shown, because I put a lot of cats in the venue. And we can see there sort of Rich with Betty, his cat, down in the corner. And we have the real Betty sort of sat next to the virtual Betty. And we've all kind of entered the sort of Inception multi-level metaverse kind of thing. So, please do keep sending these pictures in. We're using the hashtag SeptembRSE, tweet them, put them in the SeptembRSE channel. We really do like to see them. And again, one of the things you miss when you're in a conference is the sort of the rounds of applause, the feeling that other people are around you. By using Twitter, by using the chat, by using Slido and others, it can feel that other people are there. And I think that makes it more human. So FAQs, we've had some questions that have been running through the conference. I'm just going to give the frequently answered, well, the answers we frequently gave to our frequent questions. The most frequent question was, how do I change my name on GatherTown? And as you may have noticed, you cannot change your name on GatherTown. This was a deliberate choice that we made because it stopped people from changing their names to things that would be difficult to police. Plus also it enabled us to basically make sure people weren't impersonating each other. It is your name, that is who you are. But the name came from the diversity form. So what you filled in when you filled in that diversity and accessibility form, which was either linked to from your SeptembRSE ticket when we emailed that to you, or if you're a presenter, what you put in when you filled in that original submission months and months ago for the talk that maybe you haven't written yet. Don't worry, you still have time. So if you want to change your name, fill in the diversity form again, it will update our database. And then when in one of our regular sort of updates to the conference information system, your name will be updated and it will then pop through into GatherTown. And that's how you update your name. We had a question, which was, how do I know what's going on today? So how do I know what's happening today? I want to go to a session, I'm interested, how do I know what's happening? And really the best way to do that is to go to the today page on the conference information system. If you click on that link, you'll see everything that happens today. Equally, when you are inside GatherTown, if you look at the calendar, which you click on the bottom left, it will show all of the events happening today. We've had another question, which was, can I arrange a meeting or networking session? Please do, yes. The conference center is open to anybody, and we really encourage people to just organize ad hoc meetings and networking sessions. I've seen several meetings where people have gone, meet me at this poster and then we'll go into meeting room 6, or meet me at the garden cafe, or meet me at the bench next to the Zen garden. And I've seen plenty of those going on. If you want to do that, please just do that. I would recommend maybe you message the SeptembRSE channel on the Slack to see who else is interested and say, I'm going to be here at this time, who else wants to be here, and chat about these things. Maybe schedule it to be close to one of the other sessions so you can see that there's going to be an audience there. And indeed, if you find that there's lots of people who are interested in a particular topic, or you want to do this more, then get in touch, show us the demand, and we're very happy to put this into the timetable and even announce it at the beginning of the week and the summary and other things. We even have some spare space in the conference center if you want to put up a little booth or you want to put up a little thing, we can repurpose some of the areas. So again, if you want to do any networking, arrange a meeting, do something interesting, then just get in touch with us. And, we have the whole of the month. This is your conference venue, your conference. Let's do this for you. The other question we've had is, can I still buy a ticket? Of course, you can still buy a ticket. We've decided to keep the tickets open all the way through to the penultimate week. The reason we're closing after the penultimate week is we think it's just not fair to make someone buy just for a few days worth of the conference. But it's open to the penultimate week. We're processing the tickets roughly once a day. So if you buy it on Tuesday, then you should have your ticket by the Wednesday. But if you want to sort of get it a little more quickly, you buy it on the Tuesday and you want to go in on Tuesday, then do ping us an email, as it says on the login page of the conference information system. And that email will just prompt us to sort of do the work, because, this is Google Forms. There are no APIs. We have no way of triggering an alert that you've bought the ticket, unfortunately. Okay, so we're now on to some of the prizes, or some of the events and competitions that have been going on. And I know these things have been very tightly contested, and I guess a lot of you are waiting for the answers for this. So the Oracle Crypto Code Treasure Hunt, I've seen a lot of interest in this. Week 1, I gave you 5 coins. These are what we call level 1 coins. And the way the Crypto Code Treasure Hunt works is every week we put 5 coins out onto the treasure hunt. And the winner is the person who gets those 5 coins the quickest. And that's not sort of like cumulative time. It's literally the first person who has added the 5th coin is the number 1 in this list. And when we get to, and what this means is, because we release coins, 5 coins a week, don't worry if you're coming into this treasure hunt a bit late. You can still catch up, because actually, really, it's only this last week where the timing is really important. Because, as long as you've caught all 15 coins by Friday on the 3rd week, then on the 4th week, you can do the last 5 coins as quickly as everybody else can. And so you should be able to have a chance. Now, as I said, this week with the level 1 coins, they were, hopefully you didn't find them too difficult. They were kind of more easy to do. Next week, you'll have the level 2 coins. The level 2 coins will be much more difficult. And I'm really hoping, I was being very evil today, I'm really hoping that when you get to the 4th coin, or indeed the 5th coin, that my name is being cursed across the whole of the country. Because, yeah, I am that evil. We'll then have the level 3 coins, which will come out on the Monday of the 3rd week. It'll be a random time of the day, because, it's when I can get around to it, but also I want to make sure that there's people are not waiting at 9 a.m. spotting things appearing on the board. So it'll be a random time during the day. The level 3 coins will be harder than level 2 coins. And then for the final level 4 coins, the ones where it really matters how quickly you do it, they'll be based on everything you've learned doing levels 1 to 3. So really use these first 3 weeks to optimize the way that you collect the coins, the way you solve the codes, the way you do the things you'll have to do next week, which you don't know about. And that will help you be as quick as possible on the last week and have a chance of winning. And I do recommend you do join a team. Teams may find it easier, as you might gather next week. If you don't have a team, then there are some individual names here that you can see from people who've been doing it this week. Maybe get in touch with them and see if they want to pair up and join up. So at the moment here we have the sort of numbers 4 to 14. Let's go through who is currently in the leaderboard. So number three is Hut23. I'm guessing Hut23, these are the Turing group, I guess, but they can correct me in the chat. Congratulations, Hut23. You became number 3 after I fixed your problem with using different email addresses to submit things. So please, when you submit your coins, make sure you use the same email address. Otherwise, it makes it very difficult for me to build the leaderboard. Okay, number 2. Who is in number 2 at the moment? Number 2 is Andrew Rowley. Congratulations, you were the 2nd fastest person to do the coins. Now, who is number one? The fastest person to do the coins, who must have been sat watching Gather Town as I was putting them on and basically collected all the coins ridiculously quickly. And I absolutely promise, even though this person is in my group, this is all secret. It is all done completely above board. They had no idea what the coins were or anything. Number one at the moment is Matt Williams. Okay, that was enough of that sound. So congratulations, Matt, but will Matt retain his lead when I add the next 5 coins onto the Gather Town on Monday? Maybe, maybe not. It will depend. As I said, I suspect the teams will begin to have an advantage as we move into week 2. Okay, we have another competition which was going on. That was the Elsa's Fight Win a Moose by Mail competition. There were 3 mooses or meese, whatever is the plural of a moose, that are available to run. So I'm going to run the spinner. These everyone who's entered. This is the spinner of moose selection. So off we go. Here was one, moose number 1. Congratulations, E. Bennett. I think that's Ed, but if I only have the foot like letter. Congratulations, you have won a moose, and Alice's Flight will be in touch with you. Okay, let's go on to the second of the meese. If I get this right. We're spinning. We're going to see who has got the second of the meese. Jay Heaton, I think that's Joe. Congratulations, you have won the second of the meese. Okay, we'll do the third one now. Spinning round, you've got your chance here. I don't know if there will be any other moose next week, but this is the third moose that is coming. Who has won this one? And yes, we have D. Carlin. And I know your name, but I'm not going to pronounce it because I will get it very wrong. So congratulations, the 3 of you. You have won your meese, and I think Elsa's Flight will be in touch with you to arrange the delivery. Please do take photos when you get them so we can post them on Twitter or something with the SeptembRSE tag so we can all see what they look like. Okay, there was the Oracle competition. This was the winner t-shirt competition. So this is the Drug Discovery or Warp Speed. So Rich put this out in the middle of the week again. People do put things out on Twitter, so do keep an eye on that. And the aim here was, it was the first person who worked out which of the screens on the booth had this particular blog attached to it. And so let's find out. I've been just confirmed. I've been told who the winner of this was. So who do we have? Congratulations to Tim Powell. You're the winner of an Oracle t-shirt. And again, Rich will be in touch with you to arrange the delivery of that. So congratulations to everybody who's won t-shirts and meese, and good luck with the treasure hunt. There are real prizes with that as well. So if there are any questions, I'm now going to move over to the Slido chat. So just give me a couple of seconds to switch over. Okay. And I make sure I mute that because I always like to. I've blasted people with music way too much this week with the various mutes and zooms and the multiple computers that I have to have. It's been like a TV kind of like presentation studio in here. And I've learned a lot about producing this kind of content. Okay, so first question from Anonymous. Anonymous has asked a huge number of questions this week, and we might have a prize at the end for the largest number of questions that Anonymous has asked. Anyway, so will the RSE Society ever bother to have an in real life conference again? Wink. My hope, so as I said, I think that with these conferences, there's a huge environmental impact from running a conference. People traveling, hundreds of people traveling to one venue, internationally traveling, but it's not just the environmental impact, it's also the challenge of basically preventing people who can't travel. It's almost like excluding them from the society, from the community. So I think there are question marks of whether we should always have in real life conferences again. I think that they're important So I would not want to live a life where we never went and had an in real life conference again. But I think we should look at maybe moderating. So one of the things that I hope will come out of this week or this month is that we like this and we find it does work. It gives us maybe 80%, 90% of the experience. And maybe what we do as a community, as we say, why don't we alternate? So one year we do online, spread over a month, and another next year we do it in person in 2 or 3 days. By doing that, I think we then make sure we widen our community and everybody can at least attend once every 2 years, but also we immediately halve the environmental impact of our conferences. It's a big step. Obviously, it's not my decision, but that would be what I'd be advocating. And I hope, those of you who may be skeptical of online conferences before this, I hope your minds are being changed. Okay, filled in the diversity form with the presenter email address. This is different from my ticket email address. Should I fill it in twice? Please do. So this is the what is the unique ID problem when it comes to all of programming? I don't know what your 2 email addresses are, so I can't possibly resolve the 2 emails because I can't guess that you're the same person. So please do fill it in with your presenter with your ticket email address. So whatever is the email we sent your ticket to, fill the diversity form in with that email and hopefully we'll filter through. If it doesn't, then just send us an email on the conference email address, and from that we'll be able to do this all manually and bypass the automatic system. Okay, I've got thank you to Chris and the team for great work. I will say yes, thank you. There's a huge team of people that have put this together. I think we had like 20 something people on this conference committee. And what I would add on the whole online versus in real life is that running an online conference, planning an online conference is just as much work as planning an in real life conference, but it's different work. An online conference is a very different thing. It operates differently. It runs differently to a real life conference. And what I've learned this week very much has been that you can't do both. So like people planning blended conferences where they would have half of it online, half of it in person, those I can guarantee they're not going to work because you'll have to sacrifice one or the other for the work that you're doing, and they operate so differently. So I would say if you're going to do online conferences, really embrace them and really commit to it. And for those conferences that I know are going on in the community, which are in person and now cancelling, so I've seen all of the tweets about a very large conference in the US. I have a lot of sympathy. The decision to go online or in person, that was a decision that was taken for us. It was back in March or April. For other conferences, it may have been even earlier. Once you've made that decision, you can't really back out of it. And it's to see all of your hard work not go ahead, I think would have been quite crushing. So there's a huge amount of work to this. Thank you to the entire team for doing it. And I'm thankful that it's working. And then finally, is there conference merch? Of course, there is conference merch. Kristen has done an incredible job of designing some really fantastic, fantastic things indeed. I'm going to try and just bring it up here on the screen. So SeptembRSE GitHub. And then I can go to the conference, buy merch shop. Here we are. There is tons of merch here. You can see it's all very well designed. Some of the money does go to the society, I believe. Well over £100 has now been raised by the society from this. And people who've received the merch have told me it's very high quality. The t-shirts are very comfortable. The stickers are lovely. So, please buy one. I'm planning on getting a sticker, I think. So I really like this design for the sort of shooting sticker, and we can have that. So with that, that's all of the questions. Thank you for coming to the first week of SeptembRSE. It's been an enjoyable first week. I look forward to the remaining 3 weeks of the conference. And otherwise, I'm going to end this now, and we'll be around in Gathertown for some networking. So enjoy. Thank you for coming. Bye.